Good evening. Tonight we stand at the threshold of a momentous turning point in world affairs, one that will be discussed for years to come. Today marks a seismic shift in global politics. For the first time in history, two European Union member states, Hungary and Slovakia, have officially joined the BRICS alliance, a move that is sending shockwaves through diplomatic circles worldwide. This is more than just a headline. It's a political earthquake that will reshape international alliances, disrupt established power structures, and challenge the very foundations of Western-led institutions that have dominated the global order for decades. The post-Cold War era, defined by clear lines and predictable partnerships, is now officially over. The world's alliances are being redrawn in real time, echoing the dramatic changes of past eras, but with even greater complexity. This bold move not only challenges the unity of the European Union, but also gives BRICS a strategic foothold in the heart of Europe, potentially altering the balance of power on the continent. The implications are not just symbolic. Hungary and Slovakia are now committing to new economic frameworks, including the adoption of alternative currencies and financial systems that could directly challenge the dominance of the US dollar and reshape global trade. The world just became more complex, more unpredictable, and the old rules no longer apply. Markets are reacting, governments are recalibrating, and citizens everywhere are watching closely. Tonight we'll unpack how we arrived at this historic moment, explore the motivations behind Hungary and Slovakia's dramatic decision, and examine what this means for the future of Europe and the world at large. We'll bring you the latest facts, immediate reactions from world leaders, and in-depth analysis from top experts to help you make sense of these unprecedented developments. This is a story about power, sovereignty, and the creation of a new multipolar world, one where influence is shared and the future is up for grabs. The script for the 21st century is being rewritten before our very eyes. Let's dive in together. The story starts now. To truly grasp the significance of today's headlines, it's essential to understand the key players shaping the global stage. In international affairs, two major blocs are making waves and influencing the direction of world events. These are the European Union, often called the EU, and the BRICS group of nations. The EU is a unique political and economic union of 27 European countries. It was created to foster peace, stability, and prosperity after centuries of conflict. The EU is built on shared laws, a single market that allows goods and people to move freely, and, for many members, a common currency, the euro. The European Union stands as a symbol of democracy, the rule of law, and the protection of human rights. Its institutions work to uphold these values, and its citizens regularly participate in continent-wide elections. On the other hand, BRICS began as an economic concept, uniting Brazil, Russia, India, China, and later South Africa. Over time, it has evolved into a powerful bloc that seeks to challenge Western dominance in global affairs. Unlike the EU's deep integration, BRICS is more flexible. It's based on principles of non-interference, mutual respect, and the sovereignty of its members, allowing each country to maintain its independence while cooperating on shared interests. Recently, BRICS expanded to include new members like Saudi Arabia and Iran, making it an even more formidable counterweight to established groups like the G7. This expansion signals a shift in the balance of global power. While the EU demands deep integration and shared policies, BRICS offers a looser, more adaptable form of cooperation, attracting countries seeking alternatives to Western-led institutions. Now, for the first time, two EU member states are actively building bridges with BRICS, creating a precedent that could reshape the future of global alliances and cooperation. The world is watching closely as the stage is set for a new era in international relations, one where old boundaries are being redrawn and new partnerships are emerging. Why did Hungary and Slovakia pivot east? For years, both clashed with Brussels over sovereignty and economic policy. Hungary's Viktor Orbán has long courted Russia and China, seeking partners without Western conditions. Slovakia's recent populist government echoed this, criticizing EU policies on Ukraine and sanctions. Both nations felt sidelined by EU decision-making and saw BRICS as a forum where their interests mattered. Economic pragmatism played a role. Energy security, new markets, and Chinese investment beckoned. For Budapest and Bratislava, joining BRICS is about asserting sovereignty and hedging bets in a changing world. It's a bold gamble, one that challenges the idea that nations must choose only one side. On October 30th, the BRICS summit made it official. Hungary and Slovakia joined BRICS in 2026. Putin called it proof of a new multipolar world. Orbán declared Hungary a bridge between East and West. "We're not leaving Europe, we're bringing the world to Europe," he said. Brussels was stunned. EU leaders called it a grave challenge to unity and convened an emergency summit. Some called Hungary and Slovakia Trojan horses within the EU. China praised the move. The US expressed deep concern. The world's rules have no precedent for this. Can a country belong to both camps? The global order is officially in uncharted territory. Markets reacted instantly, with traders scrambling to adjust their positions and analysts poring over the news for clues about what might come next. The atmosphere was tense as uncertainty rippled through global financial centers. The euro dipped sharply, reflecting immediate concerns about the region's stability. Investors began to question the economic resilience of Hungary and Slovakia, wondering if their financial systems could withstand the shock of such a dramatic geopolitical shift. In response, Moody's placed both countries' sovereign debt on review for a possible downgrade, citing the emergence of new geopolitical risks and the potential for increased volatility in their economies. Joining BRICS opens the door for Hungary and Slovakia to explore trade in non-dollar currencies, accelerating the global trend of de-dollarization. This move could reshape their financial relationships as they begin to settle more transactions in yuan, ruble, or even the rupee. With BRICS membership, both countries gain access to vast new markets and lucrative energy deals, potentially bypassing some of the restrictions imposed by the European Union. This could mean cheaper energy imports and new export opportunities, boosting their economic prospects. However, the reality remains that over 75% of their trade is still with the EU. Their economies are deeply intertwined with European supply chains, making any sudden shift risky and complex. Any punitive response from Brussels, such as imposing trade barriers, withholding crucial funds, or tightening regulations, could be devastating for Hungary and Slovakia, threatening jobs, growth, and political stability at home. The central question now is whether the EU will risk a major rupture with two of its members, or if it will find a way to tolerate this unprecedented dual alignment. The diplomatic stakes are higher than ever. The stakes are enormous: economic sovereignty and the promise of new alliances versus the proven benefits of EU integration, shared regulations, and collective bargaining power. The outcome of this gamble could set a powerful precedent for other nations considering a similar path. Governments, investors, and citizens around the world are watching closely, aware that the balance of global power may be shifting. The financial chessboard has changed, and every move from here on will shape the future of international economics and alliances. The geopolitical impact is even greater. For the first time, the East-West divide runs through the EU itself. Russia and China now have influence inside Europe's core institutions. This could embolden other Eurosceptic states and paralyze EU foreign policy. NATO faces tough questions. Can members be allies and rivals at once? For China and Russia, it's a propaganda coup, proof the Western order is fracturing. The lines of global competition are blurred, and the chessboard is reset. Europe's unity faces its toughest test yet. What's next? Political risk expert Ian Bremmer sees three scenarios. First, confrontation. The EU and US punish Hungary and Slovakia, risking a messy split and a new Iron Curtain. Second, accommodation. Brussels tolerates dual alignment, accepting a weaker, more fragmented EU. Third, fragmentation. More countries follow, paralyzing both the EU and NATO. Each path carries huge risks: internal division, weakened alliances, and a volatile Europe. The choice will define the global order for decades. The stakes: the future of European unity, Western power, and global stability. The world is at a crossroads. The next moves will shape the century. The outcome is far from certain. The world's reaction is split. BRICS nations celebrate a victory for multipolarity and the global south. G7 leaders warn of a reckless gamble with European security. In Hungary and Slovakia, streets fill with both celebration and protest. Societies are deeply divided. Pro-EU voices call it a betrayal. Governments hail it as strategic genius. Across Africa, Asia, and Latin America, leaders watch closely. Could they too balance East and West? The EU and US face a dilemma: punish and risk more defections, or adapt to the new reality. The world holds its breath. The stakes have never been higher. This is more than a diplomatic shift. It's a sign of a new global era. The unipolar world is gone. The old East-West binary is fading. Hungary and Slovakia's move shows nations want flexibility, not rigid camps. The EU's unity is cracked. BRICS is now a true global player. The balance of power is shifting toward the global south. What happens next? Cooperation, competition, or chaos depends on choices made now. The future is unwritten, and we're all part of it. Stay informed, stay engaged. The story of the New World Order is just beginning.